ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces. Yes, that's right, the pun. Welcome your faces to another Poppy Playtime Out of Bounds video. Today, we're going to be talking about the hidden secret room that has got everyone in the community buzzing about. And today, I want to give you my thoughts on the room and go exploring. We're going to go see it together. We're going to go see if we can decipher what's really going on with the level or what was going on with the level. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The very first place you will spawn is actually in the sky, and as you can probably tell by the jump cut there, it takes quite a little bit of a go at getting it bang on. So again, it's a bit of a difficult place to get to, but it's here. I will show you a little bit in a while where oh, by the way, this video is totally unscripted. But yeah, as you can see, it's a fully walkable corridor. All the objects you can interact with to some extent. As you can see, that's locked. It's hard to tell because the level is so dark. See, in this area, it's utterly dark. And this is, I think, maybe would have been like an out of bounds area. So I think the player would have only walked a certain distance in a certain set path in this room. So a lot of people are initially thinking this could be a leak for Chapter 2. But I believe otherwise. I actually do think that this level is one of the first prototypes they made. Just because, as you'll see in a minute, when we go into... Let's go into debug mode, because actually it's quite annoying to get around. But the point of walking around there is just to show you that this actual level did get at some point enough attention that it was usable and viable to actually be considered a prototype. So, as you can see, it's just a numerous amount of corridors. There are a few rooms of interest, and if we go down and look up, we can actually get a quick cheeky look at how to access those a little bit quickly. But yeah, some rooms actually do have computers and whatnot in, suggesting workers, and etc, etc. And these doors are accessible. You can see we're here now, and hey presto, I'm going to open the door like so. There you go. So it is workable. So there are some things, obviously, there's going to be absolutely nothing working. Oh, I've just glitched my way through to the next door. And now I'm locked in. Okay, never mind. But yeah, as you can see, there is part of these rooms that are basically done. Oh, and some that don't have collision at all. But there you go. And if we go underneath, we can actually see about the previous room. It is a very just black and white row of rooms. And again, I think this would have been maybe a key gathering thing. You'd have had to go gather a key in here, and etc, etc. But the next important part is actually, and again, it's really hard to see on this level because there is no lighting in the slightest apart from what you obviously see with a few of the lights that are set. So I think this is the most important room out of the lot, because I do think that this was the very first prototype. As you can see, it's very reminiscent of the introduction video with all the supposed Poppy dolls lined up, as in mass-produced. I'm really worried that we're going to trigger an old jump scare, and I'm just really not ready for it. But as you can see, it's just row of baby heads, and again, it plays homage to the start of the... That's slightly alarming. But it plays homage to the start of the factory at the beginning. And as you can see, it's a very... not well-built room, but it's very blocked out. Things are meant to be where they're meant to be, and you know, it could well have just been a testing room, or they could have got inspiration for the trailer within this room itself. But I don't necessarily think it's a leak for Chapter 2, and if it is, I'd be very surprised that they leave it in Chapter 1, just because it would be a bit of a silly move to leave part of the game in the base first release. So it would make no sense to me for it to be Chapter 2. My guess is that, yes, it was used as either an inspiration for the introduction video to the game, or it was the very first level prototype that they decided not to continue for unknown reasons. Maybe the way it was leveled out is Poppy wouldn't... Huggy Wuggy wouldn't have worked so well in this level, because it's very confined. They probably would have had to make a lot of changes. As you can see, the height, for example, is one of those. So it might have had to change up just because. They might revisit this idea, for all we know. And it's just because can you imagine, obviously, Huggy Wuggy being spawned into this area? He would be way too small. Well, sorry, the level would be way too small, as in height. Huggy Wuggy would be way too big. I don't think he would be able to walk around the room without being clipped. And of course, there is one more room to see, and as you can see, it's fully usable again. I wondered if they worked with prefabs, as in like they were going to use a dungeon generator type deal, because I wonder if this is why the rooms were ready and made and then already like bunched together in certain positions. But anyway, as you can see, the room is fully usable. A toilet. Again, apart from the light, there's nothing really to complain about. It looks great. It looks like it was near the end of production, so I'm a bit surprised that this is actually cut. I do wonder if this was coincide with the whole unused level completely, just because I reckon this would have been extension of those two that we saw earlier. And aside from that, there are a few hallways like this one that's just untextured, very basic, and they sort of lead to different areas in the map, and they do look to be connected between the area where we saw obviously all the big cubic rooms and stuff, and also possibly with the actual Poppy Playtime factory part, as in with the doll making. This might have just been the level they would have shown to visitors that paid that admission fee, and just kept the rest of it underground safe, so from the public eye, so they wouldn't inspect any more. But again, it's a very interesting build. It's a very interesting thing to cut out. But I think it might allude to Chapter 2, even if it isn't going to be Chapter 2. I reckon they will explore the factory a little bit more. As you see, we've got a little lobby here as well. It's a very small lobby. But it's basic like that. It's just a blocked out room, absolute terrible lighting, and it's a nightmare to get around on. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank my friend Rex for actually letting me know about this, because initially I didn't even know there was a secret room, but he actually let me know in an email. So again, thank you, Rex, and if you want to check Rex out, he does the same sort of content and a lot of like game horror content. So again, I'll link him below and check him out. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you like this kind of content. If you want to see more, make sure to hit subscribe. But with that being said, I hope you have a lovely morning, day or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Theory video. Bye!